What up, people? It's your boy, Master Chudy, out with another comic review. So, we got the new issue of Flash that came out last week. Really good book, as I always say. First off, the cover looks very classic Flash. Just looks classic. Everybody's just looking classic. We see that Barry right here saying a rogue is dead and one of you killed him. We see all the rogues here: Captain Cold, Mirror Master, Shrapnel, Trickster, and a couple other rogues here. So it really gives you that old school feel. So let's get into it. And so we just have the Flash going through so many of his past mysteries. You see the mystery of the murdered Martian. It's like the disappearance of the Daily Planet with Superman. It's like a study in black where he's trying to figure out which Batman is the real Batman. And then we just see the Hound of Apocalypse, where he also solved mystery on Apocalypse. And he says, growing up, I loved a good mystery novel. I wanted to be the detective who solved the cases and using evidence and quick thinking to find out who did it. But after I became the Flash, there was one part of every mystery that I grew to hate. And we see him running because he thinks that Kristen, who is his partner, might have been killed or something like this. The beginning, every step I take is filled with dread as I race towards the criminal scene. It's like I'm afraid of what I'm going to find. It's like recently I was transferred to Iron Heights Prison Penitentiary to work for the crime scene preservation unit. This is where I send criminals after I catch them. I'm supposed to be the end of the cases, not the start of one of them. It's like I have to be extra careful with my comings and goings from Iron Heights so that I'm never seen as a Flash. But within its penetrable walls, it is a mystery that won't wait for me. And he's worried about Kristen. And then we see that he's like, oh, what, Turbine? And we see a rogue that's been killed, apparently. And we see a cold day in hell. And we see Joshua Williamson's the writer, Howard Porter's the artist, Hi-Fi does the colors, Steve Vaughan's the letters, Barry Kiston and Hi-Fi did the cover. Porter did the variant cover. Andrew Marino is the assistant editor, and Rebecca Taylor's the editor. So, So we see that Kristen is fine, and she's like saying, calm down, Alan, I'm nearly done with this scene. We'll know once we get him into an autopsy, but my first guess is strangulation. It's like I found him outside our office last night. It scared the crap out of me. Why are you out of breath? You run here or something? And he's like, yeah, sort of. So he explains who Turbine is. He was a Tuskegee airman. Oh, in World War II who got lost in the Speed Force. Interesting. It's like his time trapped inside twisted his head around in more ways than one. He joined the Rogues, but I guess I never thought of him as one, just someone who was lost. I should have checked in on him, but sometimes once a rogue or a criminal is locked up in our hearts, they fall into out of sight, out of mind. So that's nice. Like I'm agreeing with you on the cause of death. Now, Kristen, it looks like there might be traces of something else on his neck. I'll take samples. So I'll take some to the lab. Let me get my lab kit. How did Turbine even get free last night? It's a mystery. That's not for you to investigate. And then we see Singh, who transferred both Kristen and Barry to Iron Heights, basically. And he's like, you guys are no longer part of the crime scene. You're no longer CSIs. Your new duties are just to preserve the crime scene. That means you leave the official business to be my lab. And Barry's like, you got to be kidding me. And, Singh's like, look, I hate for our first interaction to be the two of you not following orders again. And we just see Burns and Morrow from the last arc do some preliminary investigation, start asking the rogue stuff. And we just see the facts like, well, this is my two favorite lab rats. And, Kristen's not happy with that. He's like, don't give me that more. This sucks. You're just going to let Barry and me, the best CSIs you have, do nothing? And then Barry's like, look, Satan. He's trying to say, I'm sorry. And then it's like, the last time we talked, it's like, what are you doing standing around? We just see Gregory right here, the new the guy in charge of Iron Heights, coming and like, hey, do your job and get out of my prison, David. It's like, my team needs all your security tapes for the last 24 hours, Gregory. And he's like saying, they're yours, nothing to hide. And it's like, really? Should I still get a warrant just to make sure everything's up and up? It's like, why wouldn't it be? And then the director, Gregory, right here, is like saying, oh, besides, if anything goes wrong, we both know you can just blame Alan, right? Isn't that why you rejected him and sent him here? Because he's such a screw up? And then you just see Singh start doing like damage control on his reputation, saying, "Well, but no, he's the best CSI in Central City." And Barry's like, it's like, Singh, really, bro? It's like, I just felt you needed some order. You're so well known, Wolf." So Gregory Wolf, and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, but you might want to look." And then you just see, "Oh, it was me, the trickster." Comes popping up and saying, "I was the one who killed Turbine. Yeah, it was the one bad army." It's like, "Now I'm going to escape." So you just see Axel Walker, aka the trickster. Well, might seem like an annoying king. He might seem like an annoying king, but that's just a distraction from how dangerously unpredictable he is. And you just see everybody's like, "Yeah, go trickster, run, kid, woo woo." So everybody's cheering him on. And we just coming through, Stooges. And Barry's like contemplating, if I turn to the Flash, Wolf's security systems would see my secret identity isn't worth getting hurt. Anyone hurt. That doesn't mean I can't use my secret identity. That doesn't mean that my secret identity can't do the hurting. So he just gets in the way, like bam. He's like, "Ow, my hand." It's like, that's what you get, Alan. Leave the heroics to us, buddy. And then Wolf is like, "You couldn't have killed Turbine. You ingrate. You were locked up in a cell, my cell. No one gets past my security." And we just see Trix is like, "If you have to explain a joke, that means it's not funny." Just see, take him to solitary. Like, no, no. And then we just see Singh like, "Damn it, Wolf, we need him to process for evidence first." So we just see Kristen like, "So the trickster kills Turbine and just confesses?" And Barry's like, "Yeah, he's right. I don't believe it." And we just see Kristen's like, "I hate that they're holding us back, Barry." And we just see, it's like, "The best way to find out anything in the inmates would be to lean on some inmates, but none of them will talk to me, either as Barry or the Flash. I have no allies." It's like, he accepts. He's like, "Oh." So August Hart, who was Godspeed, who killed a bunch of basically other speedsters, and he killed an innocent man who thought he killed his brother. So you just see what a show, right? You always did have a strong jab friend, so he's just explaining their past. It's like, and he just gets angry even thinking about it. And we just see Barrett's like, "I'm not your friend, August. You now, what do you know about Turbine's death?" And then he just sees like, "You think I did it?" It's like, "Listen, Wolf has us on a tight leash. This collar doesn't deafen my powers. It basically shocks me if I try to do anything wrong." And Barrett's like, "Well, you've proven to be resourceful in the past." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sure you're a bit worried since we're both in the big house together, but don't be. But don't be. Your secret is safe with me." So he also knows he's the Flash. It's like, "We're not in Iron Heights together, August." It's like, and we just see things like, "I know you, Barry, on the outside. You're all smiles and charm, but something happened to you since the last. You've changed. You got some darkness in your eyes." And we just see Barry's like, "You don't know anything about me. Or Turbine, do you?" He's like, "Turbine's death." He's like, "Turbine's death is just the tip of the iceberg. The detective in me is seeing all the kinds of red flags around here. And you may think I don't know you, but I do know you wouldn't be here if you didn't feel the same." It's like, "My gut is telling me," and you just see Barry's like, "Your guts?" It's like, "The last time I saw you, I told you that you had murdered an innocent man because your gut told you he killed your brother, and you had no reaction." It's like, "No sign of remorse." It's like, "You're not a cop anymore. You killed people." It's like, "Yeah, but mostly the bad guys." It's like, "You son of a..." And then you just see the guys like, "Is there any problem here?" It's like, "Oh, there's no problem. Yeah, we shouldn't be talking." It's like, "I want to run, but I can't until my shift is over. Hopefully I can clock out. There's something out there to help me blow off steam." And then we just see the usual bank robbery, and we just see the Trigger Twins, as they're known, and Bug-Eyed, and the Bug-Eyed Bandit. So they've just, so they're about to do a heist, but it seems like this guy's already come up first. And we just see the Trigger Twins say, "Well, Copperhead hired us to rob this joint, Bug-Eyed Bandit, and we ain't backing down from the gig." "Oh, yeah? Well, the new boss of Central City hired me." So in the underlying thing, there's a secret criminal boss war going around that's hiring different villains to rob stuff, and it's kind of getting in the way of Copperhead's return to handle the scene. And we just see, "I'm robbing this bank," and you just see, "No, we're robbing this bank." It's like, "Hey guys." Just see Kid Flash saying, "No one is robbing this bank." Boom. Just, doing Kid Flash things. Boom. It's like, partners, partners. And you just see the other Trigger Twin, it's like, "It's a 3-on-1, Kid Flash, and if you want any of these hostages to make it out of the bank alive, you won't move a muscle." And we just see Kid Flash like, "Man, what hostages?" And it's like, "Oh, dang." And we just see Barry Allen's like, "Yeah, I'm here to take you down." So they take down the opposition. Bam. After the cops get him, they're just talking about August. And Barry mentions that he talks to August, in which this Wally is like skeptical, saying like, "Did you tell him about Mina and Black Hole?" And Barry's like, there are too many ears in Iron Heights, but he believes something fishy is going down there. And what really gets under my skin was is that I actually agree with him. And then meanwhile, somebody's watching saying, this is the second time Flash and Kid Flash have taken out one of my people. And we see that the Triggertons would have been in and out if it weren't for the attention drawn by your bug-eyed bandit. This conflict between our organizations isn't good for business. So, this is Copperhead. The new Copperhead is a female. And she's like, so you've now seen how a union between our sides would be beneficial. And then she's like, fine, tell your boss I will agree to his plan. And then we just see that this is Mirror Master talking with him. It's like, and Barry's like monologuing in his mind, saying, I've always solved hundreds of cases in the crime lab, and as the Flash, I've often learned the mystery doesn't stop with the two. Stop with the who. There's one part that nearly always escapes me. It's the why. So meanwhile, they're going over security. Wolf is watching. He's like, It's like, all of my favorite mysteries have something in common. There was always a twist. And we can see that Captain Cold is merely a mirror projection. And we just see him now saying, what's the word on Copperhead? So Captain Cold is this new criminal boss. And we see all the rogues here. All the rogues here have been hiding away with mirror projections and everything like that. And then, Mirror Master says she's Gabe Snart. It's like, told you, Mirror Master, Copperhead wouldn't be able to resist what we've built, safe and hidden away from the Flash and the CCPD. We didn't just use our talents to turn the underground of Iron Heights into our kingdom. It's our home. This is the best life the rogues could ever ask for, and once Copperhead is taken care of, Central City would be ours. So, they're looking to betray her. And we just see Heat Thief. What about the kid? Solitary in Iron Heights is hell. It's like Trickster knew what he was doing when he agreed to take the fall for Turbine's death. How about you over there? You wanted an audience of the new king of crime. Speak. And then we just see this is August saying, what's it going to take to get this damn collar off, Captain Cold? I know you can trick them for a limited time down here, but I like mine off completely. And then we just see Golden Glider, Snart's sister, saying that, why are we even entertaining this guy, bro? He's not a rogue. And you just see it's like, my sister's always been the smartest in the family. What could you possibly offer to the rogues? And we just see August saying that, I can give you the Flash. So he's like, okay, I have my information. But you just see all the rogues like saying, I don't know if I could buy him. But that was a nice twist at the end. We just see next Godspeed joins the rogues. So, solid book. Good progression, nice action, and it leads up to an even bigger payoff of what's going to happen. I enjoyed this book. Give it an 8 out of 10. I just wanted to do a little morning review. So once again, I thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications. Make sure you're notified. Once again, I do these reviews for you, the people, because I want to discuss good comics and get your views on them. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll have more videos up maybe later today.